Hi there, everyone. My name is Stephanie Diana Eubank, and this is Wicked of the West YouTube channel. I am a Concordia University doctoral candidate of business administration, finishing up my dissertation. Yay! And I am a professor of operational management at CSU Stanislaus and CSU East Bay. So I want to take a minute and talk about this really detrimental false narrative that we're seeing repeated a lot in media right now from the leadership perspective that people don't want to work anymore. We hear it all the way from Elon Musk to Kim Kardashian. And both ends of the spectrum by these phrases and words and variations of these phrases show a complete disconnect from leadership to followership. And again, followership is the academic term for those who work in a non-managerial role. This disconnect is so toxic and detrimental to the workforce. There is a common sociological and psychological research concept of the workforce being its own living organism, and that one toxic person can ruin it like a barrel of apples. So, what do? This means we have to really take a hard look at leadership and either work on leadership development to teach them the new type of leadership they have to exhibit in this post-COVID world in a remote and in-person modality, or we need to change out leadership and put in new leadership that fits into that paradigm. And again, I suggest first teaching through employment development versus total change of leadership first. Basically, give people the opportunity to change. And again, the reason that we need to change this narrative of people don't want to work anymore is because it is toxic. You are blaming your teams instead of looking at the intrinsic business principle that followership's attitudes reflect leadership. This is a symbiotic science. Business is just a symbiotic science. As leaders, we rely on our followers to be able to get the job done. And they rely on us, vice versa. The definition of teams in the business paradigm is a group of people who are working towards a shared goal minus the personal goals. So it means you're all working towards one particular goal, and where you may have your own personal goals within your work, this is absent from what you are doing. So with this in mind, we need to start really broaching the topics of what new leadership has to look like, or more what the new leadership development has to be like in the both remote and hybrid workforce. In person is going to become fading out, especially as we grow in technology of automation and AI. It's just common and historically been shown to be the case. We've seen it all the way from Henry Ford's version of automation in the assembly line. As such, we need to prepare for this and start working on our own training and additional education that we're gaining for ourselves as workers. And as leaders, we need to also be not only investing in ourselves, but remembering a pure and traditional construct of business. Your team is your greatest asset, and you should treat them as such. So instead of blaming workers, calling them immoral for working remote, saying they don't want to work anymore because they don't want to do unpaid overtime anymore, as leaders, we need to stop, take a breath, and ask the important questions of our team to find out what we're doing that's toxic so we can fix it. If you want to learn more on how you can develop your teams and your leadership to basically be more prepared for what's going forward of the future of work, feel free to like and subscribe and follow me on my social media or on my website for my consulting services at Wikipedia of the West. Again, remember, remote is here to stay.